Good day everyone and welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'm Nat and this is a very empty Knackers Yard, and the reason it's very empty is because I needed to drag the other two out to get to the Hartford at the back, and they're currently out on the road. Now hopefully the Chinese 125, the Zenon TE 125 or Tommy or whatever, and there's numerous versions of it, Tamarati, etc. Hopefully we'll go today, but we shall see. But here we have the little Hartford, which is pretty much done, just waiting on the 2K clear for the tank. At the moment that's just bare candy coat. Nobody asked, but the reason that's blue is just got the film on it to protect it. I'm going to leave that on till the end. Haven't put the petcock on it yet, haven't put fuel in it yet, because I want to make sure that that's all squared away before I start messing around with it. But I think it's looking pretty good. Now the bit that I didn't show you yesterday is to the side, because I've had a bit of a mess around with it. Oh, I do need to have a go at the wheels a little bit of overspray on there, that's fine. And then why? I just got, as just a template and sprayed over, I'm just arsing about. I wanted to do something on it that said I'd been there. Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned yesterday either, actually. Grips, courtesy of Mike's kit, the red grips, just tie it all in beautifully, I think. So what do I need to do left on this? There's a bit of touching up to do, rust around the rear pegs, but frankly that's just, you know, hammerite and a small brush. Give it a bit of a rub off to get the rust off first. It doesn't have a centre stand. Well, it does, it's mounted for one, but it hasn't got one on it. I wasn't going to bother, but actually it looks that good that it probably needs one. It hasn't got a chain guard, and I need to clean the chain. It hasn't got a chain guard on it. Again, if I can find one cheap, I'll get one. If not, I'm not overly bothered one way or t'other. The one bit I do want to do that's bugging me though, that was plastic cuffed up. Might have a look. It feels like it's lost a ball bearing. If I can't find a ball bearing, well, it might still be there actually, might just be gummed up, but might just grab a new one because that's fucking irritating. But looks pretty spectacular and pretty much good to go. Right, so a little bit of fettling with this today. Probably I need to give that wheel a scrub down because it's got overspray on it. Yeah, that's fine. And I need to sort out the exhaust for the Fazer, so let's get on to that, shall we? Right, so back to the Fazer. That's the exhaust off. I've used the old Scotch-Brite flappy pad and just giving it a quick whack over. Again, I'm not after shiny perfection, I just wanted the lumps and bumps off it. And before I get on with painting, I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want the headers flapping around and scratching everything, I think I'm just going to get some like blue tack or something and just try and tag those back, or maybe even a loop of zip tie, just hole to hole around the outside, just to keep it out of the way as much as anything else. Yeah, I think the zip tie solution is probably the way forward. I'll go grab some. There we go, a little bit of zip tie bondage, just stopping those flapping down more than anything else. It means I'm going to end up with a tidy stripe of non-paint, but once I've done it I'll take them off and just give those a quick zap. Right, I've also grabbed the stubby exhaust to give another coat, because it's got a few scratches on it where some prick fired it down the road off the back of their bike. If you don't know who that prick was, just go back and look at some of the earlier videos. Yeah, don't over restrict your exhaust, people, because it will fire it off the back of your bike. Right, let's get this painted up. Okay, so having a look at this kickstand. Nat's top tip: before you take anything off, let me just There we go. So before you take anything off, to make sure you get it in the right place, I always put a little mark on the bevel as to where the gap is, so I know what angle to put that back on. Slightly part of my general anality, but it helps me not cock things up so much. Now, looking at the kickstart itself, and I'm not sure how much detail you can see, but in that gap there is a ball bearing. In fact, it's easier. This might be easier to see with light behind it. There we go. And it has gone all the way back into the housing. Now, I don't know if there's a spring behind there or the spring has compressed too much, but I'm just going to whip it apart, which is just on a clip, and see what the score is with it. So the ball bearing is still in there, but it's probably ball bearing, spring, then back housing. Slightly random. Yeah, so I'm going to whip this off and have a look. I think the spring has just got compressed in the back, or at some point someone's taken it apart and lost it, but we'll see what we can find. Yeah, so as it's, apart from the fact I jabbed myself twice, a big chunk out of my finger, or a little chunk out of my finger that I keep catching on everything. I don't know what's wrong with me at the moment. I've just developed a clumsiness. So yeah, there's a ball bearing in there that's quite well wedged, so I'm going to see if I can get that out and see if there is still a spring behind it, or whether or not that's been lost at some point. I don't know what those holes are in the top. Somebody's been cocking around with this. Let's see what we can find. No joy on that. So I think someone's drilled those holes to weld that in, which was a silly idea. I really can't do anything with it, so for the sake of £12 I've ordered a new one. I mean, the kickstart works fine. It's just really irritating. I could have just zip tied it on, but it just looked crap. So yeah, ordered a new one. Should be here by the middle of the week, so I'm really looking at a midweek finish on this. Well, no, sorry, that's when the 2K's arriving. Excuse me. So probably next weekend to have it all done, but I'm just going to put that back together and tag it on so that I don't lose it, and so that I mark what height it goes to, and just bang that back on. Then we'll go and check out that exhaust, I think. Right, so I've worked out that I can just sorry, that's the kickstand back on. I've worked out I found the bolt for those rear pegs that are rusty and just looked rubbish next to the rest of it, so I've just whipped that off. The Hartford's going to go away now. Like I say, I'm waiting for the paint for the top, the lacquer. Throughout the week I'll do something with those to make them look a little less obvious on a otherwise painted bike. I'll keep an eye out for a chain guard, but that's it. So this is going to get hoiked back, and we'll see if we can get this exhaust back on the Fazer. And there we go, all in black. All in black, all in black. Awesomeness. And just the magic button test. That is so cool. That is so cool that I'm going to take it around the block. Let's wall up these pipes for the first time since its MOT. Let's take it around the block. No joke.
But I think I can happily say that is the best bike that I've done to ride, if nothing else. I mean, it looks beautiful, but that just, yeah, make comments about pulling your arms off, but that's just a brilliant little thing. It really is. The indicators are on. Yeah, awesome.
Right, so that was a quick tidy up really. So sorting out some of the wiring that I'd kind of semi-bodged, putting a bit of shrink on it just to keep the rain out of it. Ditto on that side, a little bit of tape round stuff, replacing yellow plastic cuffs or zip ties with black, and we're all good. And when they did the MOT, the guys very nicely replaced my knackered screws. So once I get this settled up right, I'm going to whip that off and just chuck some black on it because there's some blue showing through, but I'm not going to do that on film. Yeah, that'll do me for now. Let's see if the Chinese 125 goes, if indeed the guy even rocks up. He's not got in contact today, but that'll do me for the day. A fairly productive one in terms of introducing the Hartford, sorting that exhaust. That looks so much better, and a quick rattle around the block, which has confirmed the fact that time to get the insurance transferred over. Right, cheers all, thanks very much. What am I going to do tomorrow? I don't know. Tomorrow is another day. Cheers all, I'll catch you later.